Sometimes when it's cold, there's nothing better than a steamy cup of hot cocoa. So why not have a little get together with a hot cocoa theme? I have a banner that I show in another video about how to make a hot cocoa bar to just put together, or a hot cocoa banner to put together to decorate to have a party. And what I've got today is to show you a few other things, and I'm going to run through it really quickly to show you how easy, if you have, you can put these together if you have a cutting machine and some paper and a little bit of vinyl, how you can put together some things to make an easy party. Or get together with friends. This would be great for kids and adults. When it's cold outside and you want to just get together with friends, and you don't need a reason to have friends over, but sometimes it's fun to decorate a little extra. So I've got a treat box that you could you know, put some marshmallows in here, homemade marshmallows even, and put them in a bag and drop it in here and tie it off. I've got a really cute card. It doesn't have to go with this, but it's just might as well goes with the theme. Um, a photo frame, a gift card holder, um, a bag topper, and this works perfectly with a Ziploc bag or the snack bags, and you can adjust the size a little bit if you need to, and a cake topper. Buy a home or a store-bought cake, pop a homemade cake topper into it, and now it looks extra special. So come on, let's go.
I'm going to start with the cake topper. I've already laid everything out and I'm going to start gluing right away. And I like to use this Barely Art glue with the fine tip and get some glue in as many of the little spots as I can. This top layer, or the top layer of a lot of my cake toppers and things like this, if you wanted to do this in vinyl, you could. But even though this is kind of thin, it did cut really nicely out of paper. So I went ahead with that. And now I'm just going to attach the dark brown layer to the craft paper colored layer. Next up, I'm going to glue the mug. You could also use pop dots to give this a little dimension, but I decided to keep this whole layer the same. And for the snowflake and the steam, if you see on the left of the screen, I did actually cut this out of paper also, but I decided it was going to be a lot easier to use some transfer vinyl and use adhesive vinyl for this part. Next, I'm going to glue a few layers of this gray cardstock that I have together. You can use whatever color you wanted here. You can use more white, or I actually am using this gray because it is something I have a lot of, and it is a very thick cardstock. If you don't have real thick cardstock and you want to make your cake topper sturdier, then you could glue a few extra layers together. But because I want my actual cake topper to be white behind the wording, I'm going to go ahead and glue a layer of white. For the back side, I could do the same thing if I wanted white showing or a different color showing than this gray, but this gray, I have so much of it, I'm so used to it that it's kind of a neutral in my mind at this point. And I'm going to go ahead, turn on my glue gun. And now I'm going to use some pop dots and some foam tape as needed to give this layer an extra bit of dimension. I used them as many spots as I felt that I could fit them in, just to make sure it's adhered real well and that it pops out everywhere and doesn't fall back in place. And I center this on the base piece. And you can see it's on there real well. And we're ready to start using some hot glue to glue the cake sticks or cookie sticks. Now I'm going to add some more glue to the side of the stick. And add the front side. And it's ready to go. Next up is one of the cards in this series, and my 3D shadow box cards go together about the same way. This one I'm going to start with all three of my layers stacked together and using some adhesive vinyl. I'm going to use some transfer tape and transfer the steam from the mug. And by having all of the layers stacked together, then I don't have to worry about, I do have to have it in the right direction, but I don't have to worry about putting each of those steam pieces on separately. I can do them all at once, even though they're on different layers. I'm going to use transfer tape again to get the wording lined up. Again, you could do this out of paper, but I just find using some of these small things out of vinyl to be so much easier. I use my transfer tape a few times, which is why sometimes it's not the stickiest, but it works. I did almost lose the dot of my eye here, so I'm going to move that back over with a weeding hook. And then I sped this up to save a little time, but I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with the rest of the words. I could have done them all lined up when I cut them out, but I saved the vinyl and put them close together and the extra time there. And I'm going to use the more transfer tape and vinyl to do the snowflake on the mug. Using some pop dots, I'm going to adhere the top layer of the mug to the base layer to give it a little dimension. You can see where it's going to go on the second layer. So I'm going to go ahead and use some foam tape and some other foam dots around here to start building the layers of the card together. Speeding this part up, you can see now it's time to start stacking the layers together. As you see, I've got some foam tape that is exposed from the layer below it, and that's okay because I'm going to want to add another layer there to build that up so that it reaches all the way to the base layer where it's going to be attached to. If it's the second layer, then it needs 2 layers of foam if it's not against the other layer of the card. Okay, gonna continue and do the top layer. I'm gonna double check where the wording is gonna fall. And get all this lined up, and then I can stack some of the pop dots or the foam tape, whichever works best. And I like to use a little weeding hook here to peel them off a bit. And then I stick the weeding it between the weeding hook, the layers, the weeding hook between the layers, and then I can kind of um, place a little extra support with the foam dots that I may not have gotten in the right spot, or I want to make sure that I've got enough layers there so that they work out well. That's how I do that. It's all ready to go. Both gift tags go together the same way, so I'm just going to show you how to do the gift card gift tag because it has an extra layer. Again, I'm going to use vinyl to apply the snowflake using adhesive vinyl and some transfer tape. This could be done out of paper, but I find vinyl easier. It's going to go right in the corner, and then I'm going to, there is wording on the larger one. The smaller one is kind of set up for you to write your own wording on there. A little simpler. And using a little glue, I'm just going to glue the mug along the edge. Don't put glue on the handle because the handle hangs over a little bit. It lines up right with the bottom corner. And now we're going to take the card holder piece, and if you fold the ends along the dash line, you can see that a gift card fits right inside. So I'm going to use some glue here on all the tabs. You could use hot glue. I just find that using the regular glue gives me a little bit more time, and I like that additional time just in case and the ability to shift it into place. I will put something with a little bit of weight to hold it in place while it dries. And now it's time for the treat box. The treat box cuts out as one piece, and there are dashed lines that I like to just go ahead and fold so that I can tell where all the lines are before I'm adding any glue to anything. And there's a piece of vellum that I'm going to add with some hot glue. Although I will say I used hot glue for this, and I've used hot glue for vellum for other things, but I actually think that using some regular glue works a little better. It gives you a little extra time for shifting it around, and as well as I think it lays a little flatter. So in the future, I would go back to using regular glue and not hot glue. And now I'm going to use some transfer tape to add the wording to the front. And a little bit of glue to glue the marshmallow pieces together. The white goes over the pink layer. And glue that in place. The pink layer shows the cheeks and then leaves some space to show the details of the marshmallow face. We're going to glue the cup in place also. And then use some transfer tape to apply the snowflake and steam of the mug. Use hot glue to build the treat box. I like to glue each tab and work my way around the base. And checking each time where I need to put the glue before I add the glue. And there you go, it's all together. Another option for a treat gift is this treat bag, a bag topper, and I did speed this up um, just for interest of time. And this one goes together just by simply gluing and stacking the pieces together. In the entire series, I did include the eyes, even though some of the things like the previous treat box, the eyes would be very small, and I actually drew them on with a marker, but forgot to record that part. So you can see I'm just gonna glue and stack the pieces. And then use some adhesive vinyl and vinyl transfer for the wording. It does cut out of paper fine, but I just like using the delicate stuff using some vinyl. And the same with the snowflake. I could have done paper. In fact, I've got paper versions laying around. I just also cut them out of the vinyl case. And in this design, the eyes are a good size, so they work really well. And a marker isn't necessary, but again, you could draw the eyes if you wanted to. And I left this design with a little bit of space there so that you could write someone's name. And you can easily attach this, staple it, would be my suggestion, to whatever size bag you want. And finally, we have the frame card. These both go together the exact same way. I cut my lettering out of adhesive vinyl and using transfer tape to place in the correct spot. And for the marshmallow, I'm going to glue the two pieces together. A little more glue and glue into place. Same for the mug. And then a little bit more adhesive vinyl and transfer tape to apply the snowflake and the steam. And you can see I actually did cut out the eyes for the marshmallow this time, even though they are quite small. Again, you could use a marker, or it wasn't even worth me using transfer tape. I just used my weeding tool and placed them in. But like I said, a marker works as well. And then you can either glue this to the back and leave a spot open so you can slide a card in or a picture in, or you can glue it to the card or use some adhesive to attach it the best way that you like. And you have two options there.
So obviously I sped some of that up to make it a little bit more interesting to watch. But hopefully you can see that you can put these projects together very simply with paper, vinyl, and some basic craft supplies that if you're a crafter like me, I'm sure you have or have easy access to. And it's sometimes fun just to have a little get together with friends. This would be fun with for adults, for kids. I mean, kids of all ages love hot chocolate, don't they? I know I do.
Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next project. Want even more crafty fun? Head over to HarperNCo, where you can sign up to get 5 days of free downloads. It's my treat to you.